once again to Not the Right. I'm Natasha, here with your regularly scheduled reminder that reality is often stranger and occasionally more poorly planned than fiction. A quick thank you to all my subscribers. You make it possible for me to continue reading alarming headlines whilst enjoying a cup of coffee, so you don't have to. If you're new here, you may as well subscribe. After all, it's free. Let's turn our attention to the diplomatic theater currently setting up its stage in Alaska, where President Trump is scheduled to meet Vladimir Putin. It's being billed rather grandly as the meeting that could end the conflict in Ukraine, but if early indications are anything to go by, we might instead be watching the geopolitical equivalent of a dress rehearsal with no working microphones, central to the unraveling Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. Official title, real estate developer. Unofficial qualification, has never negotiated an international agreement and doesn't speak Russian. This combination appears to have produced some interpretive results in understanding Russia's terms. Imagine translating a Dostoevsky novel through a badly tuned radio, close enough to get the gist, but wildly off on the nuance. This miscommunication has prompted an awkward retreat from the bold statements issued just days ago. The Kremlin, for its part, is reacting with the bemused patience one reserves for a chess opponent who has just moved their rook diagonally. Points worth examining? The diminishing centrality of the US. Yes, American support for Ukraine matters, but the clear message from Europe, Canada, and Australia is, if Washington won't join, they'll proceed without it. It's a notable shift from decades when the US could reasonably assume the rest of the world would follow its lead. It turns out, when the lead is absent, the dance can continue. The guest of honor problem. Hosting Vladimir Putin on US soil for the first time since 2007 is not merely symbolic, it's contentious. Particularly since the International Criminal Court has indicted him for war crimes involving the deportation of Ukrainian children. The fact that the US isn't an ICC member doesn't erase the optics problem. It's akin to aligning yourself next to a figure whose reputation precedes them, and not in a flattering way. The world's patient side-eye. While the summit is marketed as potentially pivotal, Europe is preparing new sanctions against Russia should it refuse a ceasefire. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky notably did not make the guest list for Alaska, slightly odd for a meeting ostensibly about Ukraine. In short, the summit has yet to begin, but it already carries the distinct aroma of an event whose conclusions may be pre-written, and whose significance may be more theatrical than strategic. That's it for today's Not the Right podcast. I'm Natasha. Thank you for joining me as we navigated the fine line between diplomacy and performance art. If you found today's discussion informative, or at the very least a useful counterpoint to the promotional language surrounding this summit, consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting below. It's the kind of audience engagement that, unlike this meeting, can produce tangible results. I'll be back next time with a breakdown of what actually transpires in Alaska, assuming, of course, there is anything of substance to report.